everyone. As you can see, little Margaret is so much better than she was last week. That's where I've been gone all last week because I was just taking care of a little sick little Margaret, but she's all better now. But I did want to talk a little bit about the latest from Pope Francis on the restrictions for the traditional Latin Mass. I don't know if you've heard about them yet. Probably you have. They're pretty heavy-handed, and obviously I'm not a fan of them. I think it's obviously a bad call on his part, and it's illegal suppression of the Latin Rite, of the traditional Latin Rite. So anyway, we are just continuing as we always have. We go to a diocesan Latin Mass parish, and for our sacraments now, we'll be receiving our traditional sacraments in the Traditional Rite from the SSPX, which we had been already doing because we noticed that they just did the sacraments a lot better. They paid closer attention to the rubrics, and they knew what they were doing more than the diocesan priests who kind of do both the Novus Ordo and the traditional Latin Mass. So we did our first child was baptized in the Latin Rite, but in the Traditional Rite, but by a priest who did both, and it was really sloppily done. It was just really awkward and confusing, and it just wasn't very proper. So after that, we decided to only use the SSPX for our baptisms and things like that. So the next two were baptized with the SSPX, and we're just going to continue with that. But now, obviously, because the new restrictions from Pope Francis make it so that if you're like me going to a diocesan Latin Mass with a diocesan priest, that priest is now not allowed to give us any other sacraments in traditional Latin Rite, and the bishop isn't allowed to ordain priests in the Traditional Rite and things like that. Obviously, these are all unjust, and therefore these commandments they don't have any legal weight, but obviously people are still going to follow them to some extent. I hope more bishops and priests just refuse to follow them and recognize them for the bad law that they are. But I know that being realistic, of course, they will be following them just from peer pressure and things like that. Anyway, so we will just continue going to the SSPX for all of our extra sacraments and for our children, confirmation, things like that. We are grateful to the SSPX for what they provide to the faithful. It's really sad that it's just up to them. This is something that should be offered by every bishop. Every diocese should have this. This shouldn't be a war. That it is. It is war. It shouldn't be, obviously. And I'm sure in a few generations it will get back on course, and I am just staying the course until then. Our family is just staying the course, and we are receiving, like I said, the sacraments where they will be given to us. We'll see how the other societies fare through this. Time will tell. We'll see how Pope Francis chooses to implement this when it comes to the fraternity and to the Institute of Christ the King, and to see whether they will be forced to follow these rules as well. So we'll see. But until then, I'll just, as a faithful Catholic raising my family in the faith, we will just go where the rites are offered to us, where the traditional rites are offered. And we know for sure at the SSPX, we know that they have them for us. So thank God for that. Thank God for Archbishop Lefebvre. And this is basically puts us back to around the same sort of suppression that was happening in the 70s. So this is just putting us back and forcing us to make the same decisions that that our parents had to make, our parents' generation had to make when it came to where they were going to receive the sacraments, or if they're a priest, what rites they were they were going to offer, and if they were bishops, you know, same thing, what they were going to do about this. So I pray for stronger leadership in the truth and the traditional Catholic faith. So good luck to all of you who are also traditional Catholics and trying to raise your family in tradition and with the traditional rites of the Church. Good luck finding those sacraments and for your family. And don't be afraid to look into the SSPX for the sacraments. Don't be afraid to go and ask them for those. You can look them up online pretty easily, find their location, and give them a call. And they're very easy to work with and very helpful and very willing to work with us. So that's really a wonderful resource to have. So anyway, have you read the latest responsa ad dubium? Ad dubium? Is that what it is? The response to the dubia that just came out on Saturday. Have you read through that? What was your reaction to it? Let me know in the comments your feelings about it and what you're doing with your family or any changes you're going to be making to where you invest your time and your resources when it comes to building up the church and parish that you're a part of. So let me know, and I will see you in the next video.